Well, time to get my guests on the show. I'm joined by Diya Kakkar on the show to talk about that. She's an Indian fan. Diya, India started the day beautifully, Siraj taking that wicket, but then rain came and that seems to have broken India's momentum.
Definitely, we started off pretty well. David Warner was looking like a threat to us the way he was batting, and he has got a great record at the SCG as well. So actually, he was looking like he could pose a great threat to us, but as we saw, Siraj got him out. And then, as rain curtailed the match, and of course, we lost the momentum. They were at 21, so for the loss of one wicket, that was very good for us. But again, as the rain came in, and we lost quite a lot of overs because of that. And then after that, it became a belter of a track. Like, it was looking like a flat road where, like it has plenty of runs on it. We can see that. And on the other hand, we saw that we missed out on a lot of chances as well. Because if the pitch is going to be like that, you expect that you're going to grab the opportunities that are there. So, but that didn't happen for us, as we saw that Rishabh Pant dropped.
Right.
2 catches, and there was one run-out chance.
Yeah, we are going to talk about Rishabh Pant's dropped catches. The first Test match in the series that is expected to go all 5 days, would you say? Or it's too early to tell?
Definitely, because actually, as there is a saying called that, till the time both the teams don't, play a single innings each, we cannot predict what's going to happen, whether the match is going to go for the day till day 5 or not. But yeah, definitely with rain also being there are predictions that tomorrow as well rain can happen. Then of course we can expect that the match is definitely going to till day 5. And knowing that the kind of batting track that is looking like, there are plenty of runs, and maybe Australia can bat till day 2, and then we can come in, and our batting is also that great that we can also bat for like 2 days. So yeah, I think that match is definitely going to be an interesting one, and maybe it will go till day 5 and might end up being in a draw as well.
Right. It was a day of the debutants, Will Pucovski and Navdeep Saini. The duo made their debut. Let me ask my director to pull up those pictures of Pucovski and Saini getting the caps early this morning. In fact, this was the cap presentation ceremony at the SCG for the Australian debutant Will Pucovski, and it was given by the assistant coach Andrew McDonald, and then shortly afterward Navdeep Saini also got his test cap that was given to him by Jasprit Bumrah. There on your screen are the pictures of Bumrah handing over the cap to him. Anmol is also there on the show with us. Anmol, would you say that, while these two made their debut, it clearly was Pucovski's day, but Saini, had he been given a few more chances, maybe a longer spell, he could have also made an impression?
Yeah, we have to keep faith in the bowlers. We have to give them longer spell in the test matches, as it was Saini's debut. He bagged one wicket of the other debutant. I think that Saini's longer spell could help us to get 2 or more breakthroughs.
Diya, we've seen 2 young batsmen on debut in this series, Shubman Gill and Pucovski here. How would you compare these two batsmen of the generation?
Well, according to me, Will Pucovski had a great, domestic career as well. And, we all, as an Indian fan, we all had, that expectations from him as well, that he's going to do great and he can also pose a great threat to us, to the Indian bowlers. And that's what we saw as well, because, but as we saw, there were a little bit of flaws in his, like, if I say technique, because the way he was shuffling across, and we saw that emulation that was happening. Like, he was, trying to emulate Steve Smith. That we saw. There was a little bit of Ricky Ponting shot as well that we saw, and that's what I didn't see in Shubman Gill. He's a class player and he's a class batsman, and he was looking flawless with his batting, the way he batted. And both of these youngsters, it's wonderful to see. Both of them had missed chances as well. Both of their catches were dropped, but I guess they cashed in on these opportunities, and they both are doing pretty well for their own country. So it's very good to see.
Anmol, it says catches win matches. How many runs would you say these two dropped catches will now account for? I mean, how much will Australia now, how many runs will they score in this innings? They very much look to score more than 200 runs.
Yeah, not 200. I believe they can score more than 280, or they can touch 300 runs also, because they have the powerful batting lineup. And if we have to strike them before 250 or 220 or 200, then it will be a great sign for India, as we also have some more batting rest in the middle order and the lower order. We will prefer that we should get early breakthroughs.
Rishabh Pant, in fact, we have Mr. Malhotra on the show with us. Mr. Malhotra, would you say Rishabh Pant's dropped catches is making one feel that a specialist position should not have been compromised in this test match?
Definitely, it has been compromised. You know, you played him for his batting prowess. But the fact is, he's not much of a wicketkeeper. If I may say, even KL Rahul seems to be a better wicketkeeper than Rishabh Pant. And he is there only because of his batting. And they're forgetting they're playing with two spinners. And the way Rishabh ball has turned, especially for Ravindra Jadeja, you know, whatever few overs he has bowled, seems there is going to be a little bit of turn. Then he might be found wanting. So he might have made a mistake there, because Rishabh fits in only as a batsman and wicketkeeper, not as a wicketkeeper batsman. And definitely the two catches. Because if Ashwin would have got a wicket early on, you know, he might have been very, very effective. You know, he would have then bowled with his tail up.
Would you say, you know, Ashwin, who was brought in 13 overs into the innings, had an initial spell of 5 overs, amazing spell of 5 overs. It was 5-1-7-0, amazing off-spin bowling there. But then that dropped catch changed it all. It seems that even Ashwin lost his momentum.
Absolutely, you know, and then the batsman grew in confidence. If you look at the Australians, be it Labuschagne, be it Steve Smith, they're taking Ashwin on, and they have lofted over the fielder's head, where the mid-on has gone back to long-on, which has opened them for easy singles. So that has turned the tide in Australian batsmen's favour. He is bowling well, but he's still not been able to be as effective as he was in the first 2 test matches. And
right. I'll get back to Mr. Malhotra. Well, they are coming to you in the first 2 tests. Ashwin was responsible for 2 of Smith's 3 dismissals in only 23 balls, threatening both the edges of the bat. And this time, Smith seems to have batted with a completely different approach, neutralizing Ravi Ashwin.
Actually, that's what we saw. I saw Steve Smith's interview after, you know, this day 1. And that's what he pointed out, that, you know, he was trying to show that intent. The way, you know, he just came in and he was with, you know, going with full intent, hitting those strokes and, you know, 1-4 to the long off and to the long on. And it was like wonderful strokes. And that's where we saw that, you know, he's here to make a big impact. And that's what we saw as well. And that's, I guess, you know, a player of his stature we expect as well. Sydney being his home ground, and he has also scored 2 consecutive hundreds in the ODIs as well. Right. So he was carrying that confidence, and you know, a video also emerged that, you know, during Christmas Eve he was seen batting. So
let me ask my director actually to pull up that video that Dia is talking about. What was Steve Smith doing ahead of the Christmas? On the Christmas Eve, this is what Steve Smith was doing in his room, and perhaps this video was taken by his wife, who was also there in the room with him at the time. And this is how Steve Smith's Christmas Eve went. He was trying to perfect his shots against the Indian spinners, against the Indian bowling attack. And we know what happened in the first 2 tests. Smith did not find his hands. Mr. Malhotra, coming back to you, is this how determined, is this how obsessed batsmen are when they don't find their hands? They shadow practice during Christmas Eve.
Not all of them, but a few of them. You know, and those are normally great players, you know, who are kind of obsessed with batting for the longer periods. And I must say that I must appreciate his wife also, who is tolerating this kind of behavior on a Christmas Eve because, definitely, but he's obsessed with his batting. We all know that, and it shows. He must be desperate to get onto the field and score runs because he's missed out on the first 2 test match. And he's come with a new game plan. He's been very positive, very, very aggressive. And that is what has been missing so far in the Australian batting lineup.
Mr. Malhotra, Labuschagne looked scratchy in the first 2 tests. Suddenly he has found forms. Would you say he's looking ominous?
Yes, I think, I was hearing that somebody saying we'll get 250, 280. But if these two get on, then it can be 400 because these two are the best Australian batsmen. And, they have got off to a good start. Will Pucovski had a good 62 runs. And then now Labuschagne and Smith, of the way they are batting. I think, first hour tomorrow is going to be very, very vital. If they get through that, then I think India is in trouble.
So this is the pair that India needs to break to be able to make a comeback in this test match. Thank you very much for joining me on the broadcast.